Hey there, I'm Terry Thomas, and welcome to Terry's Next Chapter. Today, I just wanted to explore with you many YouTube channels, BookTube, as they say, channels that have inspired me, have helped expanded my reading. When I discovered or got back into fiction reading a couple years ago, I discovered BookTube. Honestly, I don't even remember how. I wasn't a YouTube watcher. I know a lot of people use YouTube for lots of things. Now I do more than I ever did before, and BookTube has a lot to do with it. But actually, it's what inspired me to want to do this channel. So I really wanted to start out by really sharing and honoring, giving thanks to some of these channels that really inspired me, like I said, expanded me, and where I've learned so much about different genres, different authors, different books that I never even really knew existed. So when I first got back into fiction, I was looking primarily for romance, I would say, in the beginning, because, I had spent so many years reading nonfiction. I love spiritual and self-help, if you will, self-discovery, personal development. I've been a life coach for years, along with being a school counselor. So that kind of stuff has always intrigued me. I've always looking for ways to grow and as a person. So that has been a genre that I've read extensively, and I might do some stuff around that on the channel. But primarily right now, I'm focused a lot on fiction because I feel like when you read that genre, it's fabulous. And obviously, I think it's a good thing for just about anybody to seek ways to improve their lives, and there's a lot out there. I know sometimes it gets kind of teased a bit, someone who's into it, but I really think that genre has been really great for me as a person, and I've learned a lot. But you kind of get to this point where you're like, you start getting to a point where you just want to love yourself for who you are. Kind of like that's what a lot of the books end up pointing you towards, anyways. So I kind of got to this place where I wanted to just settle in. Ooh, hey, Leo, my little sidekick. Um, and focus on fiction and having fun and lighten up a little bit. And I was getting a bit serious, and not that that's a bad thing, but I wanted to expand my fun, really. So like I said, I started with romance, and that's what I was looking for in the beginning. And since I've expanded quite a bit into different genres, but just romance felt lighter to me, just a way as a doorway, basically just what I was looking for. So I discovered, yeah, this is my sidekick, executive producer for today, just checking to make sure I'm doing a good job, right, Leo? Um, anyways, so the first channel, or one of the early channels that I really discovered, is the Book Refuge, and the creator, her name is Jen. She's been around for a while. Actually, probably all these channels are well developed, and maybe in future I'll explore smaller channels and give them a shout out, because there's lots of great creators out there, but these are the ones that really got me going in the beginning. Anyways, I digress. So Jen's channel, The Book Refuge, um, I stumbled upon it early on, and she does really great in-depth reviews. She's very prolific. This is her job or whatever, to do booktube. So definitely go and support her. She talks about, actually, a lot about dark romance and different genres that might be seen as taboo or something by some people. Um, Mafia romance, a lot of those. And she talks about others as well. Like I discovered Elsie Silver through her channel, and Sophie Lark, and I've read some of theirs. And some might be a little edgy, but I think it just really expanded my reading, and I didn't even know. And she'll talk about like layers of, this is kind of a little dark in this way, but what's great about her is she explains stuff so that if it's a genre you might be curious about, might want to explore, she talks about it in a way that's very accessible and helps a new reader understand, like, where they might want to start, or what I'm saying. So definitely check her out if you have any curiosity in that regard. So another channel that I discovered early that also is a different genre than I had read is the Raven Haired Reader. And first of all, I just like her. She just seemed like somebody I'd like to hang out with. She seemed fun and cute, and she does vlogs, so you kind of get to see her a little bit, in her home, or it's probably her home. And she talks a lot about romanticy, which is something I hadn't really known anything about in my reading history prior. And so through her, I learned, about Sarah J. Maas and the typical ones. And now I've read ACOTAR and stuff. And, that I wouldn't say that romanticy is my absolute fave, but I do like it. And I like what I've discovered is because I'm reading so much now, because of audiobooks, which is great. That's a whole other thing. But um, she talks about romanticy, like I said. Oh, and so with romanticy, like I said, it's not my favorite necessarily. I lean more contemporary romance, and lit fic probably are my favorites. But I don't know, it's just fun to break it up, right? And to just like lose yourself in a story that would not even think of, the crazy, a lot of fae and stuff like that. So anyways, I like her channel. She leans heavily into that. She does talk about, like I said, some contemporary and others, but it's very like romanticy heavy. So if you're interested in exploring that, she talks about lots of books on her channel, and like I said, really helped me learn that genre more. And then a third romance channel that I found early on is Kaylani Simply Me. And she leans, oh God, she just talks about all kinds of romance genres. She talks about contemporary, she talks about some dark mafia, not super dark, but kind of Sophie Lark type. She dives a lot into series, cowboy romance, like all kinds. Why choose, that they say. So also dipping into some taboo areas, maybe, or what some people might find taboo, because the great thing is there's so much out there, and she just talks about the whole breadth of romance, I feel like. And she's really seems really cute and sweet as well. And you just kind of want to hang out with her, I feel. But she talks about so many books. She has these very ambitious TBRs, and she's just fun. She just feels like a real person that you're just going to hang out with. So go and check her out if you're looking to really expand your romance reading, because she also has this book club called Swoony Readers or something like that. So definitely check her out, and you will learn about so many different, like all those series. She breaks them down, and yeah, just a great channel. Okay, so those are some of the three early ones that I really resonated with because they were romance, and that's what I was looking for. I want to mention two other channels right now that actually are a couple of my favorites. The first one is Books and Lala. She's huge. I mean, a lot of these channels you guys have probably already heard of since I'm so new here, but in case a new person stumbles along, these are really good, well-developed channels. Anyway, so Kayla from Books and Lala is from Canada, and she just honestly, we don't have the same taste a lot of times. Like, she likes quirkier, more like and horror. She likes a lot of horror, which is not a genre I like. She dips in romance, but it's not her favorite. So whereas that's probably more where I lean. But what I love about her is she talks about genres that I wouldn't even think of reading, first of all. And like the more, like, I don't want to say obscure, because I'm sure they're big in their communities, but things that would feel obscure to me, like these quirky books. And it's just like, there's so many books out there and genres that I hadn't even heard of. So her channel, the other thing I love about it is she's so creative. She's fun to watch. She'll do whole series. Like, she'll do series where she'll pick something and she's like, I'm going to keep reading, like she did this with romance because it's not her fave. She's like, I'm going to keep reading this until I find a 5-star, and she'll read a whole ton of books, and then she might not even find one, but it's pretty fun. So she'll do those kinds of videos. But also she did this one on sharks. sharks. Like she just read books that had sharks, or she did one with like eyeballs because they kind of gross her out, which eyeballs gross me out too. So she's just fun. She has all these quirky ideas. So if you haven't heard of Books and Lala and you haven't tried her out, go check it out. Like I said, I don't know if I said, but all of these channels, I'm going to have links in the description, so you can definitely find them. And yeah, she's just got a really fun, creative channel. And you can learn about so many because she has so many videos you can go back, but also she just talks about lots and lots of books, and she's very prolific. She also has a book club, the Literally Dead book club, something like that, where they read a lot of horror and mystery, thriller, that kind of stuff. So she is one I do highly recommend. Another one that I love is one of my absolute faves. I always watch her videos, is the Book Leo, and her name is Leonie, and she's actually, I think, from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and she's this a young girl, and she just has the cutest, sweetest channel, like just so cozy. She actually on a level reminds me of one of my daughters because of the way she talks about books. She just is very smart. She is a critical reader, and she helps me to think about books in a different way, and also expands what I would be normally reading. And yeah, I really like her a lot for the feels. And like she does interesting and creative takes too. She does vlogs. She'll walk around her town, which for me is just beautiful. It's a different culture. I've always loved to learn about other cultures. So I really love her channel just for that. Yeah, she just has this warm, sweet presence. So definitely check out the Book Leo. I think pretty much all of these channels have some form of subscription, Patreon, things that you could support. And yeah, I think she has her book club in her Patreon, but just highly recommend. And she reads more like lit fic, but she'll also dip into romantasy. And so what I like about her is she's a critical reader. So like I learn about maybe some of the better ones, but hey, that's all taste anyways. But yeah, from that perspective, so I really enjoy her channel. So the last three channels I want to talk about are channels that I still love and adore and watch all the time, and they've also expanded me in different ways. The first one I want to talk about is Jack Edwards, or he's got a couple of channels. Jack Edwards, Jack in the Books, another huge channel, so you've probably heard of him. But what I like about him is I've really explored more of the lit fic side of things that I don't or hadn't heard as much about until I got into BookTube. And you know, some of the, I don't know, just good general fiction, just great stories. And he, like through him I've learned more about like James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, some of the greats, you know, and have read more of those kinds of stories. He recently started a book club called Inklings, which I am following along with. And so yeah, I highly recommend him if as a way to expand into really general fiction, literary fiction, some of those bigger, more classics he goes into. He's just so well read, and just I've learned and gotten so much from him. Another channel that I really love is The Story Ain't Over, and This Story Ain't Over, and it's Janani is how I say her name, Janani, and Janani, that's it. I knew I wasn't saying it right, Janani. And she really, well, she comes from the book industry. She recommends a lot of BIPOC authors and expands me in that way. She's helped me to look at stories in different ways and read stories from people from different backgrounds. If you want to expand into other cultures and diverse authors, I highly recommend her. She also is so knowledgeable because she comes, I think, from the publishing industry. So she really dives into her videos deeply. So I really, really highly recommend her. One of my most favorite recent books I got from her channel a while ago that I had on my TBR for months, Honey and Spice, by Babalola, I think is how you say it. And it's, oh my God, it's one of my favorite fall romances right now. And so definitely go watch her channel if you want to expand and learn about authors that you might not have heard of in other mainstream channels. Actually, she's pretty mainstream because she's been around a while, so I don't even want to like say that, but she's just great and so knowledgeable. And then the last channel that I really want to talk about is Chapter and Converse. And her name is Audrey who does this, and she is fun because for me she's a fellow Gen Xer. I'm a Gen Xer, she's a Gen Xer, so all these other channels are like really young people, which is fabulous. I love learning from young people. They're a lot of my kids age, and I always grow and learn from them every single day of my life. But it's also fun to watch a channel with someone maybe my own age, and I think she actually might be a younger Gen X than me, but um, she also expands me because she talks more about thriller and mystery. She does dip in a little horror, but not as much horror. Like I said, that's not even a genre I'm really all that interested in, but a lot of good mysteries and thrillers. So if that is a genre that you'd like to explore, Chapter and Converse is an excellent channel for that. She also goes into a lot of series and Agatha Christie she talks about, and she's an author and writing a book herself. So I think recently, I am filming this end of September of 2025. So I don't know if whenever you're watching this, but she was recently talking on her channel about how she's going to be dipping into some different genres because she's writing a thriller right now. So that's cool, and I'm so excited to see when her book comes out. So yes, I'm go follow her. Like I said, I'm putting links to all these channels. These channels have really expanded my reading. Like I said, I've learned so much from them. I highly recommend all of them. And I just hope that you got some value from this and it's helped you to maybe find some channels. That is my goal here. So thanks so much for spending this time with me today. And, put in the comments, like, let me know if you've explored any of these channels, and there are ideas for other channels that I haven't mentioned that you've found. I would love that. I'm always looking for new channels, new books and authors. So give me your recommendations. Let me know if you've enjoyed any of these channels. Anyways, so thank you again so much for spending this time with me, and I'll see you on the next vid. Oh, hey there. Since I always forget, I'll let Miss Mischief handle this.